So we're going to leave the debt there. Let them deal with it in Washington, because we're going to talk about 2012 and the election. We've got a nice poll we want to put up for you, the 2012 GOP field. And look what you see there. Michelle Bachmann now in second place. She continues to climb. Janice, take a deep breath. Janice is looking like she might pass out over there. We're not sure. Mitt Romney at 30%. So Mitt's numbers, those have gone up as well. Michelle Bachmann at 16. Rick Perry, who's not even declared yet, but let's be honest, if you listen to Karl Rove on the channel earlier this morning, he seems to say, you know, Rick's in and he's got a committee and everything. But when's he going to announce? That's a big question. All right, Ron Paul at 9, Newt at 8, Herman Cain 5. We got Rick Santorum still sticking at 3, and Tim Pawlenty, it looks like he's going down in numbers. The last poll we had him at was at 3%. I mean, there's margin of error, of course, and Huntsman at 2. What do you make of this?
I think Tim Pawlenty needs to take a deep breath and think hard about his political future, because I mean he's done everything right by the book, but he's just not catching on. The interesting thing clearly is Rick Perry. You know, I've got friends on the street who've been contacted by his campaign, not for money but for advice, and it's quite clear that he's organizing a team right now. The team is looks like it could be pretty impressive. He's coming from a state that is producing jobs in massive numbers. It's led the jobs category for 3 straight years, and that is one heck of a thing to have on your resume in this particular economy.
I don't disagree. What do you think about the candidates and who poses the most credible challenge to Barack Obama head-to-head?
You know, right now I don't
honestly,
I don't see anybody on that list right this minute who I think could defeat Obama. I guess Romney. I don't know. Perry's interesting. Bachmann, to me, you're right, I did pale when her name came up.
Yeah, you were looking good over there.
It underscores what you said is great as far as it goes. The Tea Party has added, if all you're talking about is a dialogue, but if you're actually talking about some of them in real power, I find that very frightening.
All right, I got a couple great live chat comments. David Larson said Obama loves his gang of 6. Hold on here, because you guys are writing so much that I don't want to lose you here. Obama loves this gang of 6 because it gives him freedom to increase the debt limit on the promise of spending cuts. And then let's see what else. Stephen said Romney is riding on name recognition. I think that could be very true. Brian saying that Tim P is too plain because he said he's not catching on. So, you know, Ron Paul, Stuart says Ron Paul and U.S. occupation of foreign lands. That would save a lot of money. And then Gwen, David, I wonder if the gang of 6 makes Obama feel he's upping Mao. Oh my goodness, I don't know about that.
Well, I think that I do think right now it's Obama's election to lose. I mean, I'm not happy about saying that, but I have to say that I do think it's his election to lose. Without some serious further deterioration in the economy, it's going to be very difficult for the Republicans to pull this off. And partly it's because the only guy who, I agree with you, the only guy who's in the race right now, and he is somebody who's running in the middle, and he's going to therefore be a credible president general election contender against Obama, but he's going to not have that enthusiasm of the Tea Party, and that enthusiasm gap is what drove the last set of election results, and the lack of an enthusiasm gap here will basically turn the election over to the Democrats, I believe.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't like saying that, but I think that's right.
What about the poll that shows it's like any, you know, basically that other
generic Republican
beats Barack Obama?
Well, you know,
who is that?
But it's not other. But there's no other running.
I'm trying to change my name to generic Republican so I can become president.
Chris Christie's going to be in Iowa. How about that?
Yeah. Well, Chris Christie's an interesting character, and he's, you know, I think he's in Iowa for a specific reason, which is that he intends to be back in Iowa 4 years from now, making a real run. He's just out there right now making sure that people know who he is, so that in 4 years he can take a crack at it if he's still in office in New Jersey, I think. But all of this is why the field is wide open for Rick Perry.